Hello, my beautiful friends. So today we're going to talk about teachers. Who are your teachers? Who are the people that you look to for wisdom and for knowledge? So I thought about this because I wrapped up teaching a course on leadership and I can't even speak, digital leadership. And I've been a professor for about 30 years, a little bit less than 30 years. And I was thinking about when I pulled my rune for today, which was Fehu, and the cards that I pulled along with it, I was thinking about who we include in our life as our teachers, as our mentors, as our sort of our team. So we have our spirit team that we have, if you're Christian or not, if you believe in gods and goddesses, or if you believe in spirits, or you believe in your higher self, you have your spiritual team. But who in your real life or your physical life do you turn to for lessons? And I'm thinking about this because I'm getting ready this weekend to go to my favorite weekend of the year, one of them, to piping camp. So I go to this thing called Pocono Workshop. I'll put a link below. And it's a place for pipers and drummers to go and learn from some of the best pipers and drummers in the world. And they're from all over the world. And all of the teachers are excellent. They're excellent. They're professional players. They're competition. They've won all the things. They are smart. They're good teachers. And I like all of them with the exception of one. And he's an excellent player. He is well known, but he has such an ego, and he is so arrogant, and he makes disparaging remarks about the students, and I just don't go to his sessions. I went to one, and he made a very snotty comment, and I thought to myself, everybody in this room has paid to be here. We've paid to be here. We're here because we want to learn more. You don't need to tell us that we're not as good as you, because I think we already kind of know that. That's why we're here. I don't tolerate that. And in my career of being a professor, I have met a lot of snooty professors too. Most of my students, I teach both literature and I teach cybercrime. Most of my students are not English majors, so they don't love literature, they don't love reading, they don't love poetry, they don't love essays, they don't love novels, they don't want to read. Every English course they've had before mine probably sucked. The few English majors I have, might be a little bit different, but, in cybercrime, in that particular course, I've only ever had one student who actually knew what I was talking about, because we had to do all kinds of things like build virtual machines and do all this stuff. And I've had one student in the course of my teaching that course that actually knew what I was talking about, because he worked in the industry. So, I think we have a responsibility when we're teachers, when we're the instructor. We have the obligation and really the honor of being humble and being kind. And one of the teachers that will be there this weekend, he's amazing. He's like one of the world's best, if not, I think he's the world's best. And he's just a humble, kind guy. And he's a good teacher, and he's just a good teacher. And he's kind of my age, so had I not retired from piping and come back, like maybe I would have known about him sooner. But I like when he gives lessons. I understand what he's saying, and he's excellent. And I'm always struck between the difference between him, who he is this great player, and this other player who's also a great player, and just their difference in their attitudes and their different in approaches to teaching. And I think when we're looking for people to be our instructors, when we're looking for people to be the ones that we turn to for knowledge and wisdom, we want to pick carefully, right? The one guy, he's a great piper, but his attitude is absolutely terrible, and it's a bad role model. It's a bad role model for young people. There's a lot of arrogance in every hobby, in every sport, in every musical endeavor, in theater, in every kind of space that I've operated in my life. There are people who are arrogant, and there are people who are kind, and they're all very talented. But who do you want to surround yourself with? What kind of energy do you want in your life? Well, I don't want the negative energy, so I just choose not to go to that guy's session. And then the other guy, I really, really like his sessions. He mostly teaches the basic courses, so I can't go to all of them because I do need to level up my skills. But But I also shy away from that sort of hero worship, and think he thinks that I'm doing that. Um, uh, he doesn't watch this channel, but I don't, right? I've had excellent professors my whole life. I've been colleagues with excellent professors my whole life. Um, and I know when there's a good teacher, and you should follow them. But he's just a guy, right? He's just a guy, and that plays the bagpipes, how random, and how very specific, wildly specific, really. So there's no hero worship there, because he's just a guy. But I do like taking his courses and his lessons and stuff. So when I think about in my academic career, the people that I always liked as my instructors, they were always the ones that made you think differently, right? Going all the way back to high school, and the whole reason I even majored in English was because I had a high school teacher who was just phenomenal. And I didn't even know that English was a thing you could study. I had no clue. And, I wasn't expected to go to college. I was a steelworker's daughter. I was expected to get married and married another steelworker. So there was no expectation. And so, I like to read, but I didn't know that you could actually major in that, major in reading. Who knew that was a thing? And when I look back over my own college and graduate experience, the professors I had that I liked the most really made you think, and made you come out of your shell and think outside of the box, and really challenge your perceptions and your thoughts. And those are the professors that have always stuck with me, teachers and professors. And so I try to do that with my own students. In my career, when you're no longer a student, you've finished college, you finished grad school, you're done with all the learning, you still have to learn. So who do you learn from? Who are your mentors? And sometimes mentors are natural, like you're naturally aligned with somebody, but sometimes you think somebody's a mentor, and then they turn out not to be. And then that can be difficult, because you interested in them, and thought of them as a leader, but they do not see that relationship with you. So it's really important to be clear about who you're picking to be your physical world team, whether that's in your church or your coven, or in your practice. Like, what do they believe, and what do they expect of you? Like, do they expect you to be, you know, a devoted person? That's it, right? What do they expect of you? And that's one of the reasons why I like the good piping instructor, is because he really doesn't want that. He really doesn't want you to worship him, which is why I like him so much, because he is that way. The other guy wants you to worship him, and I don't like that. So as you're making your way on your spiritual path, or on your work path, or in your life, your daily navigation of life, think about the people that you learn from. Here on YouTube, you can learn a lot from a lot of different channels about all kinds of things. Like right now, I'm on a bender about the Mayflower. My family wasn't even here, but I watched something and it made me interested, and I went down the rabbit hole. That's how it goes with me. I get very interested in things, and I learn all I can about it, and then I move on to something new, right? But like, quality of sources, quality of the videos that you're watching, quality of the people that you're listening to. What are you filling your head with? Is it good stuff? Is it edifying, or is it garbage, right? Sometimes you just like to watch silly stuff. I like to watch some clips from SNL. It was funnier years ago, but I like that new guy, Nate Bargatze. I like him and his George Washington stuff. Sometimes you just want to watch silly stuff. I spend a lot of time actually listening, listening to playlists of instrumental music, because I can listen to that while I'm working or reading or doing other things. So what are you filling your head with? And who's filling it? And is there a motivation there? Is there, is there some, you know, reason why, you're connecting to that person? And, sometimes we are drawn to the cool kids, and I tend not to be, because I always wonder, like, what's underneath the veneer. Um, but I just tend to like the people that I like, and I like to find lots of people to be on my team, whether I know them or not in person or whatever. So I was thinking about this because of the rune I pulled, and just because I'm getting ready to go to pipe camp, and I'm so excited. And I was looking at the schedule today, and I was really excited about the different sessions that are going to be offered. And it's like my favorite time of the year because it's a weekend. It's always my birthday present to myself because that's when you register for the tickets, and it's my birthday present to myself so that I can get better at my hobby. Something that I really love doing, and I get to hang out with some really fun people, and I've gotten some of my piper friends to go along. Every year I've met friends, and there's a whole gaggle of us female pipers that go and have a great time, and it's just it's great. It's like summer camp, but in the fall and surrounding bagpipes. So I am wishing you all the very best in light, love. Be well. Take care. Bye bye.